Hi everybody, welcome to Transform Through God's Word, first official word study following the Chronological Life Application Bible Study that we are hosting. I will be using this format. Again, if you're following me on Facebook, this has been provided for you. It is also on OneNote, but just in a different format with the same information. So let's look at the format real quick. Let me fix this, sorry. All right, so at the top, the number one thing we're going to do is, of course, write the word that we are going to be doing a word study on. The next part is the English definition. 3 and 4, if you guys watch my other videos on word studies, you know these two go together. So here we'll be looking at the comparison of Hebrew and Greek words. We'll find the definitions for those words, whether it's Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic. Number 5 is the occurrences in the Bible. We will ask and answer, how often does it occur? In which books is it found? Which book is it used most? Where does the word first appear? Where does it appear first in the book that we're studying? Which writers use it? The root meaning and origin. Number 7 is biblical usage. How was it used in the Bible? And number 8 is the application evaluation. Pretty much the summary of what you've learned through your word study. So again, this is how it looks. The format, you can do it this way, as I have done previously. I have, when we did the word petition, I did it in just numerical order. So it has number 1, the word petition. Number 2, we have the definition, the English definition. Number 3, you have the Hebrew words with the Strong's number, the Greek words with the Strong's number. Then you have number 4, you have the Strong's number listed with either the Hebrew or Greek words, then the definitions. Then you have number 5, the occurrences in the Bible. So we answered all the questions that were listed in number 5. Number 6, you have the origin. Number 7 is biblical usage. How is it used in the Bible? And this one you can do like, how is it used in the Bible? If the word is coming from a specific scripture that we're studying or verse, you can write on what's going on in that verse and how was it used. And then number 8 is what is God telling you? And you can use what's going on with number 7 just to write what your thoughts were. You can also do it like a word map or mind map, however you want to describe it. But of course you put the word in the center, and then as you branch out to start doing the different definitions and things. So you have number 1, and then you have, let's see, where's number 2? Number 2, then you have number 3, number 4, then you got number 5, and number 5 is all of this at the top. Number 6, number 7, and number 8. So again, you just kind of go through it and make your lines, connecting things, however many boxes you need to make off of the core part, the word. So for these word studies, following the Chronological Life Application Bible Study, I will be using a notebook to keep them in. So this notebook I just got, it is a Mary Beth notebook. And this comes from Walmart. So again, you can use it, you can use a notebook, you can just use a regular sheet of paper, whichever works for you. But I wanted to start keeping them in a notebook. So here I just created a cover page. It says TTGW Word Studies. And then I just put, you know, I'm not artistic, so I'm good. You guys know I'm good with these, making little paint blobs, using my markers. And I put little circles. Whatever you want to do, just be creative. And then, of course, in the inside, I put a table of contents where it'll be the page number and the words that we're doing. I always do a table of contents if I'm using some kind of notebook or things like that, because I like to be able to go back if I want to add different things to my word studies or my verse mapping. I like to be able to go back and find what I'm looking for, so that way it's easy for me to add things as I'm studying, because again, remember I told you it can mean one thing in one part of the Bible and something different in another in another part of the Bible. So as you guys can see, like here, real quick, in my verse mapping notebook, you guys see I did not start out with a sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I didn't start out with a table of contents, so that really bothers me. So most of the time, I would just tear all this out and start again. But I'm not going to do that. So what I will do is at the end, or I'll probably start a table of contents in the back of the book. So probably back here, I would probably use like 2 or 3 sheets of paper and put a tab here and put table of contents, and then just start it in the back since I didn't start it in the front. And I think I had already started doing Esther's verse mapping, and then I had tore them out to start over, and I ended up gluing this sheet of paper to the front cover, so that kind of messed up what I had going on. So again, I like to try to keep all my things organized. So here was the first verse map that we did, and then the next video following this would be our next verse mapping. But this is just an idea for you guys. If you want to do it on paper or in a notebook, if you want to print out the templates and write it on the template, you can. But I like using notebook. I don't like printing these out, because to me it's using a lot of ink, and ink is expensive. So either way, these, you know, I like getting creative. I like using my markers and things to get creative. You can use stamps. I have showed you guys, I do have some stamps that I had purchased from Michael's. So like these, you know, has deeply breathe, chose, joy, grace, faith. So if I get to any of these words and I have a stamp for it, I will use it. You know, I have other stamps. Sorry for the glare, but I have other stamps that says peace, joy. So if I can use them, I will. As soon as I can get more things going. If you know, in your notes, for those who are following the chronological study, you guys will see me start adding things. In my notebook, I will use stamps. I will use sticky notes for prayers, things like that. But definitely in the word studies, if there's things that stick out later on that you find while you're reading, you can always use sticky notes, washi tape to add paper, things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. The things that I will be using today, of course, is my template, my notebook, my Strong's Concordance, my Random House Webster's College Dictionary, so my English dictionary. Again, I showed you guys this has been in my family a long time. 1992. And let's see. Sorry that the light is changing. So this is my English dictionary that's been in my family for a while. And then also I will use my Nelson's Biblical Cyclopedic Index. Again, this one is just like a quick reference. It gives you small definitions and some references in here. But I like to look at it because sometimes, let's see if I can find one. You see it has like little word studies in here that you can use. I will also be looking at, let me grab it real quick, this CSB Women's Study Bible. I will look through it because I have noticed that at the bottom, it does have some word studies information. It doesn't go a lot in depth, but it does have some information. So like today, we're going to be doing the word God. And I had asked on Facebook, if you're following me on the Facebook group, I had posted if there was words or anything you would want me to do a word study on. And I believe one of the words was created. So here in the CSB, it has created. And we will look at that just to gather more information. So I think that's it so far that's in here. But it's just an extra resource to have. So if nothing else, let's go ahead and dive into our notebook here. Uh-oh, I lost it, guys. Here it is. So we're going to dive into the notebook. The first thing that we're going to do, of course, is write out the word. And then start out with our English dictionary. Okay, so number 1, we're going to write the word. Now, if you want, let me skip a page for my index here. Uh-oh, the pages don't want to separate. There we go. So if you want, you can do it like a spider web. So we'll do this one like a spider web. So in the center, you'll write the word God. And then you draw a circle around it, or oval shape, like that. And then if you want, you can just put number 1 on the top. Then the next thing that you do is you can grab any kind of, I use Crayola twistables if you guys, Crayola super tip markers. I do have Crayola twistable crayons or color pencils, so whichever you prefer. I normally use the twistables mostly in my Bibles and not so much on the notebooks. I use the twistables more, the super tips more in my notebooks than I do in my Bibles. So you'll just draw a circle or trace over your oval and your number 1. So that'll be your first step. And again, you can see the harder you go, the more it'll shadow in the back. But it's okay. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me. So number 2 is the English definition. So then I will grab my English dictionary. Okay. And then we're going to look up the word God. Let's see. Okay. So as you can see here, let me zoom in for you. All right. So here you see the word God. It tells you that it's a noun. The creator and ruler of the universe, supreme being, presiding over some portion of worldly affairs, a deity, the image of, image of such a deity, an idol, and defied person or object, Christian, sorry guys, I don't have my glasses on. Christian Science, the supreme being, considered with reference to the sum of his attributes, used to express disappointment, disbelief, frustration, or the like. And then, of course, you'll know it's like, oh God, oh my God, things like that. Number 5 will be related to. So, we can use the creator and ruler of the universe, supreme being. If you wanted to use one of several immortal powers, especially one with male attributes, presiding over some portion of worldly affairs, a deity. The image of such a deity is an idol. You can use that. But we can focus on just number 1, the creator and ruler of the universe, supreme being. So we'll write that. For number 2, the English definition. Let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, let's see. So what you do is you just draw a line from your word. I always do like the top line to kind of give me a guide on my writing. Doesn't have to be even. So we're going to write the creator, and ruler of the universe, supreme being, and that's it. So that's number 1. And I mean number 2. So if you want, you can write at the top of the box number 2. And then the next thing you do is you can just grab another marker or Crayola twistable highlighter, whichever you're going to use, crayon. And you just trace over it. Number 2. Then number 3 is 3 and 4. It goes together. And it is finding the Hebrew and Greek words. So here, I'm going to show you how I use my Strong Concordance. You can use Blue Letter Bible app. You can Google it and see the words that pop up for you. You can, there's all different kind of apps that are out there, Bible tools, things like that. But I like using my concordance. And for those who know me, I have a big pet peeve. I like using what I've purchased. So I'm going to use my strong concordance. So for those who sorry, it's really bright. Let's see. There we go. So for the Strong Concordance, as I've showed in other videos, in the Strong Concordance, the first set is the alphabet A through Z. Then you have your appendix, your Hebrew dictionary, and your Greek dictionary. Remember, anything from in the Old Testament is going to be under the Hebrew dictionary. Everything that is in your your New Testament is going to be under your Greek dictionary. So in the Bible, we're going to look up the word God. Now remember, it tells you God, not gods. So be careful when you're searching. Let's see, I think it starts right here. So on page 515, for those who have the Strong Concordance like I do, 515, it has the word God. Make sure it's not gods with an S. And then, for example, since we're doing Genesis, and you can look Genesis 1 and 1, it has the Strong's number 430. And for most of it, the Strong number is 430. Remember, I was saying that sometimes, depending on the book of the Bible or the chapter, the Strong's number can change. Doesn't mean that the definition that you're going to find is going to be extremely different, but it's just telling you that it could be used differently. So for the word God, we're going to look for, so we know 430 is the Old Testament. So then let's look for something in the New Testament. So for example, you have, we're going to go all the way to the end. So we're going to do Revelations. Revelation Strong's number is 2316. And as you can see, you know, First Peter, they're all the same. So we're going to use 2316 for the New Testament, which will be our Greek. And we're going to use Strong's number 430 for the Hebrew section for the word God. So you can just, on a sheet of paper, write it down. So you're going to use God. You're going to write God, Hebrew 430, Greek 2316. So for the first part, we're going to just leave this here to mark our page. So the first part that you do for number 3, so for number 3, you're going to write out the compare translations. So number 3, to start out, we're going to just draw a line. And then the first one, and you just kind of start out a little box. So the first one we said it was H 430. So then we're going to look up that Hebrew word. So in the back of your Strong Concordance, let me zoom this out a little bit. So you're going to go to 430. So if you continue to flip to the back of the concordance, you'll get to the sections where it says Hebrew at the top. You have small numbers in the front of each word. So you have like 88, 89, 90. These are your Strong numbers. So we're looking for 430. So let's look. So right here you have 430. You see it says Elohim, and it has a Elohim, plural of 433, gods in the ordinary sense, but specifically used in the plural, thus especially with the art of supreme God, occasionally applied by way of difference to magistrates and sometimes as a superlative, angels, exceedingly gods, goddess, godly, God, very great, judges, and mighty. But it gives you another 433. So we'll go down to 433, which is Eloha, rarely short, Eloha, probably from 410, a deity or a deity, God or God. Then it says C430. So we already went to 430, and we've read that. So that's how you read the Strong Concordance. So for 430, we know that it's Elohim. So that is what you're going to write for your definition. So let's see, 430. Let me grab my notebook here. So you're going to put H 430, and right now you're just going to write the Hebrew word. So you're going to put E, and you kind of write it out as close as you can, because I know it has symbols with it. Elohim. And then you're going to write out the definition. This is why I say 3 and 4 kind of go together. Now, if you're writing it in numeric number, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like listing it, then you can do 3 and then 4. But for the little mind map, it's easier to do the word and definition. So you're going to put the word Elohim, and then you're going to put of. And I always write the other Strong's number on here because then it's good to reference. So you put gods in the ordinary sense, but And then you can put specifically or abbreviated, used in the plural, thus, especially, with the R. And I write everything because if I come across it again, I'll kind of already have, know what it's talking about. But again, you can abbreviate your definitions. So you put a supreme God. And that's it. And then you just draw your box like that. So here you put 3 and 4 together for it. And then we're going to go to the next number, which was the Hebrew, which was, Greek, which is 23:16. So that you'll just grab another marker, trace over it, and then if you want, you can go over the Strong's number and the Hebrew word like that. And then you can put number. And what I like to do is always, you can just put it like, okay, so I'm going to show you example. So because it's 2, right? 3 and 4, I'll draw another line above it, because then this is where I'm going to write the next one. So you draw a line going above it. You can do it a little bit below. And then what I put here is 3 and 4. And draw a line. So it looks like that. Okay. So now let's go back to our Strong Concordance. And you look up, the next one is Greek 23:16. So we're going to go to 23:16. But this time it's Greek. So at the top it should say Greek. So you'll go 23:16. So again, you have the small numbers and you're looking for 23:16. So you have 22. And then we have 23:16 right here at the top. So it looks like it says 23:16. Theos, an uncertain affirmation, a deity, especially with 3588, the supreme divinity figure or magistrate, by Hebrew very exceedingly God or godly or God word. Now if you want to look at 3588, you can continue to flip through so we can see what that is talking about. So we'll see 3588. So 3588 is right here. Let's make sure that's what that says. 23:16, 3588. Yeah, so 3588. And it says, it looks like a who, include a feminine, the hey, the neutral. Let's see, in all of their inflictions, the different art, and sometimes to be supplied in other Ottoman and English Ottoman, the this, that, one, he, she, or it. So really, that really doesn't go into too much information. So we'll just stick what it says here, 23:16. So then you'll write it out on in your notebook. So 23:16. So the first thing I write is G, so I know that it's Greek, 23:16. And then you write out the Hebrew word. And then you can put a deity. I'm sorry if you guys hear my son. Especially, and then you can list 3588, but it really didn't give us nothing. And then it just says a supreme divinity. And then it says figuratively a magistrate by Hebrew. And then it says God. So that's what we have. So then, because it still goes with 3 and 4, we will also do this one in blue. So we know that it goes together. And then you can, again, go over the word and the Strong's number. And then you go over 3 and 4. Then, once you've gone through that, the next part is number 5, which is the occurrences in the Bible. So then you go back to the Strong's Concordance. And this is where I use my concordance the most. So let's go back to God. So here in the Strong Concordance, and you can look it up on Blue Letter Bible, but for today's video, I am just using my Strong Concordance. So here you have all the list of scriptures that use the word God. So the first question is, how often does it occur in the Bible? So for those who have followed word studies before, you guys know that I count all the scriptures listed here. And see here it says God, see Goddess, Godhead, God, Gods, God Word, Creator and Ruler of the world, Israel, and the Church. So if you wanted to add this, you can, and I'll show you how. So first for number 5, it says how many times does it occur? So what I do is I go ahead and count. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87. Okay, so we have 87 on the first page, and if you keep going, you're going to get about 3,800, close to 4,000. It's like 4,000. Hold on, guys. I wrote it down for you guys. 4,473. Now, there is also a good website that you guys can use. It is christianbiblereference.org. And it breaks it down by translation. I also use this one for my word studies when it's a big number like this. And I'm going to move my camera so you guys can see. So excuse me. So if you guys can see this, you have, it is Christian Bible reference.org, and here you have different words. And right here you have the word God, and it has it in the New King James Version, New American Standard Version, the NIV, the New Revised Standard Version. So here it says, Old Testament, you have, for the word God, you have 3,090 times. In the New Testament, 1,354 times. And then, of course, depending on the translation, because the words have been changed, it shows a different number. So I use that also for large numbers, just to kind of see, to make sure I'm on the right track. So here again, you can count down each page number, but when it's a large amount, you know, depends if you guys want to count it out. But Christian Bible Reference is a good reference. So here you have, again, it says 3,090 in the Old Testament and 1,354 in the New Testament for the King James Version. And of course, you guys know I use the King James Version a lot. So, for instance, so it's telling me that the Old Testament and the New Testament combined together is 4,444 times the word God is used. So, for that, we're going to do, you're going to start answering your questions. How often does it occur? So, for the King James Version, it's 4,444 times. And then, in which books is it found? So again, here I use my strong concordance. So we're going to start back at the top, in the beginning of the word, I'm sorry. So here you have, what you do is you go through, and of course some of you guys will be like, well, all of the Bible. Well, yes. But to verify what you're writing, you'll go through, in the concordance, it gives you every verse. So you have Genesis, you have Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings. You have, let's see, Chronicles, 1st and 2nd Chronicles. Let's see, Ezra, Nehemiah, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Amos, Joel, Jonah, Obadiah, Micah, Jonah, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts. Let's see, Acts, Romans, 1st Corinthians, 2nd Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Colossians, Philippians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, Hebrews, Titus, 1st and 2nd Titus, Hebrews, James, 1st, 2nd Peter, 1st John, 2nd John, 3rd John. Let's see what else we have here. 1st, 2nd, 3rd John, Jude, and Revelations. So, of course, everything. So, for that question, of course, you always just go to verify. So, here you have where books is it found. You put all. Which book is it most used? So, to figure out how it's most used, again, normally what I do is I count each one of these to figure out exactly which one is it used the most. So, let me finish counting and we'll get right back to this video.